to my channel. Now I have a bit of a different video for you today, and I am stepping outside of my comfort zone because I'm doing my first acrylic video for you. Now I am fully qualified in acrylics, however I had only been qualified for sort of 4 or 5 months before I became unwell last year and had to stop working, and unfortunately because of that, working with acrylic has had to take a bit of a back seat because I just haven't been able to do it. However, in the last sort of couple of months I have been itching to get back doing some acrylic nails, so I thought to really push me to do it I would film some videos of my acrylic creations. Now I'm not saying I am an expert, I'm not saying I am the world's greatest nail technician with acrylic, but I am keen to learn and to further this, so I am giving this my best shot. So here is my first video, and I'm going to show you how I created these 3 nails using acrylics. Now for those of you who follow me across my other social media, you will hopefully have seen that a couple of weeks ago I posted that I was the new brand ambassador for Chameleon Glitters, and they have been sending me some of the most gorgeous glitters to play with and do designs with. So I thought this was perfect opportunity to do my first official video as brand ambassador and have a play with these glitters. So I have incorporated this in all 3 of my designs, and I'm showing you 3 ways in which I have used acrylic to create 3 different nail designs. So if you would like to see how I get on, please keep watching. Okay, so the products I'm going to be using in this video are acrylic powders from Team Gorgeous. Now I actually got these products last year when I originally qualified in acrylics and I was working, and since then they have actually rebranded, so these exact products are no longer available on their website. However, there are some gorgeous alternatives. I have been stalking the website recently since I've decided to start getting myself back involved with the acrylics, and I have a very long shopping list. So I will leave links to the website down below, and although you wouldn't be able to find these exact powders, you will find suitable alternatives. But the ones I'm using today are the crystal clear, the gorgeous pink, which is just a cover pink, and a satin pink, which is the sort of the clear with a hint of pink. I'm also using the Hawaiian Sea colour acrylic. Again, this is before they rebranded, but there are a couple of gorgeous blue alternative coloured acrylics on there, both on my shopping list. And I will be using the gorgeous Betty acrylic brush. Now this has always been my go-to acrylic brush since I qualified in acrylics last year. I absolutely love this one. It has had a bit of a facelift as well on the Team Gorgeous website, and they do also have a bigger size, both of which I am itching to try out, so hopefully I will be in a position to purchase those very soon too. And obviously the star really of this video, because it is all about using my gorgeous Chameleon glitter, is Desire, and this will be incorporated into all of the nails that I'm doing. So I'm gonna get myself set up and then we'll get on with creating some acrylic nails. So the first one I'm gonna do is on this sort of tapered square tip, and I'm actually going to create a reverse smile line, and I'm going to do that now, and then I'm just going to leave it to one side to fully set before I go in and add the glitter. So I've gone into my monomer, into my powder, and I'm just going to take a little bit of the liquid out and then place that where I want my smile line to be, and then just feather it up and start shaping. You want to do as much of this work with the brush so that you've got a nice crisp smile line, and then when you come to file it, it's pretty much in the shape you want it. And then for the final cuticle bead, I'm actually going to go in with the satin pink. And there we have one reverse French done. So I'm going to leave that now to fully harden, and then I'm just going to go in with my file and refine the shape just so that it's perfect before I do the tip. So we can go on to the next nail now. For this nail, and I've sort of got a bit of a rounded shape going on here, I thought I would do a full glitter nail, show you how I would apply my glitters with clear acrylic. And I'm going to add some, oh, throwing it, I've got some strips of angel paper which I'm going to add on top just for a little bit of added sparkle. So for this I'm going to use my crystal clear acrylic, and I've got the Desire glitter, which I've just put a little bit out into a second pot because I don't want to be putting my brush into the jar. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up a small wet bead of clear acrylic, which I'm then going to dip into the glitter, and then I'm going to, using the tip of my brush, I'm just going to pat it down, making sure it's sort of a nice thin coverage of that glitter. You don't want it thick because remember we are just, this is just giving you your coverage. So going back into that clear, back into that glitter, and onto that nail. And while that is still wet, I'm just hopefully going to pick up some of that angel paper, and I'm going to just lay that into that wet acrylic. You could use your brush to pick it up, but my brush didn't want to know. And then I'm just going to use the belly of my brush just to flatten it all down. Don't worry about these bits that are overlapping because when we come to file, I will remove those. And then we can encapsulate that in clear. And this is where you would be focusing on your structure and your apex, but obviously this is just a tip, so I'm not really worrying too much. And then we can just leave that to set, and then we can file it. And like I said, when you're working on your clients, don't forget you want that apex and structure. So for the final nail, I'm going to do an ombre nail, and for this I am going to use the coloured acrylics. I've got Hawaiian Sea and Little Boy Blues. So working quite wet, going in first with a bead of the Hawaiian Sea, and I'm just feathering that down, and then I'm just going to feather it up the nail. And then while it's still wet, going into that glitter, and I'm just going to pat it so that it's kind of coming randomly across that nail, and then we can cap that in clear. And if you were working on a client, you would be making sure you get that apex in and your nail structure, but as this is just a nail tip, I was just doing a rough design. So there is that one ready to set, and then we can file that. So going back to my reverse French nail, I am now going to just refine the shape using a nail file. So, and what you want to do is you want to make sure you are pushing into the acrylic and not down, because you want a nice crisp line. Now obviously working on a client, you're not going to have the issue of it trying to come off your stick. But I'm pretty happy with that shape now. So just dust off any dust, and then we're going to start adding a little bit of something to the free edge. So I'm going to use the blue coloured acrylic in Royalty and Hawaiian Sea, and I'm going to go in, I'm going to do a bit of a marbly look. And when I'm happy with my my marbly look, I'm just going to add a little bit of the glitter. Just for some, just not completely, just here, there and everywhere, like so, just for a little bit of sparkle. And now all I'm going to do is cap that free edge. You don't have to cap the whole nail, and you wouldn't have to cap the whole nail if you were working with a client, because you would have built your structure when doing your reverse French. So we're just going to cap that free edge. So I'm going to do that off camera, and then we will come back and finish the nails. Okay, so these are now completely fully hardened, so you can go in with the filing technique. Now obviously when you're working on a client, it's a lot easier than filing on these tips, and if any of you who do acrylic nail tutorials have any tips of stopping them from popping off while you're filing, please let me know, because it would make my life a lot easier. But I'm just going to quickly, like I said, I'm fully trained in acrylics, but I'm not a pro compared to some of the YouTubers out there, and I'm not gonna start giving lessons or things. This is just how I do it, and it's worked for me, and I never had any complaints from my clients while I was working. But when I'm filing, as long as they don't pop off, I go in and I file my side walls to just refine them, like so. Then the free edge, and this on this nail where I had that excess angel paper, that's where I can now get rid of that, and this is where I will put my nail shape in as well. Like so. So just make sure I've got a nice free edge shape, and then I go over the nail, just streamlining where it needs any shape, always checking sort of down to make sure I've got an even shape coming down the nail, and making sure that my apex when working on a client is in the right place. So I'm going to finish filing off camera because I think it'd be a lot easier, and then we'll be back. Okay, and there they all are, fully filed and dusted off. And now the last thing I'm going to do is go in with my Gorgeous Nails gloss. Again, this is before the rebrand, so it is slightly different now, but I've got lots of this left, so I'm going to keep using it. And this is where they sort of all come to life. So I'm just going to go in with my manky looking brush, and I'm just going to go over cure those in my LED lamp for 60 seconds. And there you have my 3 designs using the gorgeous Chameleon Glitter Desire. And they're all different, and I really enjoyed creating all of them. And that gloss is a tack-free gloss, so doesn't need any wiping. And obviously if you were working on a client, you would leave it a minute to cool down and then add your cuticle oil. But I love just how sparkly that glitter is, and it just adds something a little bit extra to the nail. So thank you so much for watching this video, my first acrylic nail video. I have been very nervous doing it because, like I said, although I am qualified in acrylics, I know that compared to some of the amazing acrylic artists out there, with the likes of Miss Lucy the Glitter Fairy and the amazing Liz's acrylic nails, and Sarah Richardson, just to name a few, do some amazing acrylic tutorials and are definitely more advanced than I am. But it's something I want to get back into whilst I'm still unable to work, and I thought doing a few videos would really push me to jump in and get back into doing my acrylic work. So I do hope you've enjoyed this video, and I do hope you will stick around to watch some of my future acrylic videos. As I said at the beginning, I will leave links to where you can buy the things that I've used in the description box, but please remember Team Gorgeous have rebranded, so the products that I am currently using are not available, but there are some fab alternatives on the website, and I will hopefully be placing an order with them very soon to get to try some of the new stuff. So if you have liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please leave me any comments below. Please be nice, because I am nervous about this one. If you haven't already, please click that subscribe button. At time of filming, I'm edging ever so closer to 200 followers, and that is my next target, and I will post pictures of balloons when I get there. I might do something a bit better than that, but you never know. But until the next video, I will see you again very soon. Bye!